And now that we've assembled thousands of facts about autism, we now have a way to talk about it at the Autism Society meetings in a better way than we used to. Autism is determined through the genetic setup in the nucleus of the animal's brain. The nucleus of the brain is where all of the genetic abilities are located on both required and optional. The whole idea is based on which of those required genetic abilities are present or absent. There may be genetic abilities in the hundreds, but on this new board I have here are the genetic abilities that are both required and prudently required. Behold, the new matrix board that shows you the different genetic abilities. This board is like the letter or number lights you used to see on old televisions and radio receivers. But in this case, when discussions on our loved ones' autism issues are done at these meetings, the minute we hear about the issue and it's on our database, we turn on the light that pertains to it. For example, issues about asking for help when you should are frequently talked about, and so the ASK light is turned on. Issues about telling people ahead of these things are frequently come up too, and that's when the RE light is turned on. Issues about interrupting on the phone are also discussed, and that's when the N light is turned on. Issues about hanging around children, in which a lot of autistic people do, are also frequently discussed. And that's when the DAN light is turned on, as well as ending authoritarian control in that issue too. When the person finishes what they're saying, they do it just so by saying, "I didn't know that all of those things were absent in their genetics, and that I need to realize that." We also discuss the reasons why, how the parent or guardian handled the situation is or was wrong. And we do it just so based on the scientific principle in which our database holds a lot of. Remember, the physical facts help us to determine the mental facts too. One of the other boards we have at the front of the room too is the chart in relationship to the process of neurophysiology, but that one is not electrical like this matrix board. With that one, we discuss steps on how to perform neurophysiology so that we can ensure that our people in the Autism Society have artificial genetic ability backups to be able to live in the mainstream. A point sheet can never get you mainstream because it's not formulated to be able to repair those genetic mishaps our friends and relatives have, and therefore can only give you better access to the mainstream, which is not the same thing as being mainstreamed. Only neurophysiology can get our people fixed up to live in the mainstream like they were meant to be. Repairing these disability issues is important so that we can ensure that our friends and relatives will be able to succeed in school, to be able to succeed in college and graduate school, and then be able to obtain a community helper's job. The main reason and why our economy turned back in 2007 was because the percent of people able to succeed in school had declined to as low as 40%. They didn't have the genetics to be able to succeed in school and either dropped out or they lived in special education, which really doesn't give you the teaching benefits the way people once believed, and only gives you a wonderful place to go for social life. Repairing developmental delays is one thing that school can never do, no matter how long it goes for any students. Developmental delays are repaired through neurophysiology only. the whole Autism Society has helped us get this far in life and help us make neurophysiology possible to be able to make those repairs. And now that I've put out a YouTube like this just for you, I'm going to be getting on the list myself. Yvonne Heffler will now be on the list, and it's the waiting list to undergo neurophysiology, and this will be wonderful too, so that I can become a new person who can do a lot more things that he used to. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you down the road.